Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Phay, and welcome to the channel. So, did you hear about the bowling alley that recently had to close down? I guess the entire staff went on strike. Today, we're looking at Dirt and Dust by Albie Games. Okay, now this is a 1 to 4 player game about rally racing, which is kind of cool. I like rally racing. Now, the cool thing about this one is it does have deck building, simultaneous play. It's got dice placement, strategic thinking, damage control. It's a really unique looking take on racing games. Now, I was in my local friendly game store actually yesterday, and I saw this on the shelf. I knew of the game thanks to Paul Grogan, but I didn't think that my store would actually carry it, so I had to pick this up. So I'll tell you what, let's go down to the table. Let's see what's inside this box. All right, folks, here we go. This is Dirt and Dust by Albie Games, and I'll tell you, I love the artwork on this cover. This thing just looks absolutely fantastic. Okay, so let's see what the back of this box has to say before we get going. All right, here's that info box, and I read you all that information. It's a 1 to 4 player game, 90 minutes, and you're looking at ages 14 and up. Okay, and like I said, it's deck building, simultaneous moves, dice placement, strategic thinking, damage control. You got your dashboard here that's going to have all your cards. You're going to slide across it, your dice. You're going to be able to put on there based on whatever their roll is to see what cards you can use. This game looks really interesting and really fun, so I was excited to get a hold of it. All right, enough of all that. Let's get this thing opened up, okay? Because I really want to see what's inside this thing, and I really want to get this one played. Oh, but boy, I'll tell you, and I will say it again, that cover artwork just looks amazing to me. I really like it. The colors just pop out on that. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to hit the camera there. Okay, let's see. Now, once we get inside, what do we have? Oh, looks like we're going to have a nice little tray for our stuff, too. I'm excited about that. All right, so let's take a look at this rule book first off. Let's see if I can get everything in here for you. All right, the back, this is the one thing I did know about this. I looked some stuff up on this game the other day. Game icons. There is a ton of icons. But the thing is, they look like they're all going to be pretty self-explanatory. So once you kind of understand how they do their icons, they shouldn't be too bad. And we're only looking at about a 20-page rule book. Oh, and this is a thick rule book too, folks. This rule book actually feels really good. I like it. Okay, here's a list of all of our components. Here's your player components. This is all the shared components, and then here's your individual player components. That's actually kind of cool. They split those up like that. Little overview, little goal of the game. There's your game setup. All right, description of all the components. A really good breakdown of everything on this. Absolutely cool. Wow, this is an amazing rulebook so far. Okay, now here's going to be your gameplay. All right, how everything's going to, your driving phase, your dice rolling phase. And that's the thing, is everything's just done in phases. But the simultaneous part is what's really cool. All right, perform special actions. All right, your hazard dice. I know those hazard dice can be a pain. And then we got our end of game, which is coming up here. And then what do we got in the back? Okay, so we got some difficulty adjustments, some trial stage, which you can do. It's like not necessarily, it's a 10-round normal game. I think this is only 5 or 5-turn game. Let's see, our solo mode. Now that's what I'm really curious of. How is the solo mode going to play? Because it's a simultaneous game anyway, so theoretically it's already solo. And a nice big round example right here. All right, and it looks like this is there's 4 different drivers that you're gonna get in this game. So this is all your different drivers you can get, and you got your permanent damage token explanation down here. Very nice. Okay, that's all right. I like it. Okay, now what do we have? We have our player boards, and it looks like all of the punch boards are already starting to come out of these. So pretty good. All right, we're gonna have our dials, which we'll have to put on the boards. This is going to be all the damage tokens, so each player is going to be getting a set of these. All right, everything punches really good. 0 problems there. Put these here off to the side. And there's, as you can see, your little dashboard. And then, of course, you're going to have your turn dials. They're going to be sitting right there. Okay. Now, this one, what do we have here? Is this going to be, this is going to be the, all right, here is the board you're going to get. I'll put it sideways so you can kind of see it this way. All right, this is going to be up the top. This is where the rally car tracks are going to go all the way down. And this is going to be the very bottom of it. You got your score track, which is going to go up this one right here. And this right here is, I can't remember what they call it. This is the, well, when you do really cool stuff, the people like it track. Can't remember what the name of it is right now, but you're going to get a dice that if you're leading on this track, not tie, but leading, you're going to get a bonus dice that you can actually roll. That's going to go on there. All right. Now, these are going to be our 4 player boards. All right, let's see if we can get these things opened up. There we go. Now, your player board, this is where your deck of cards is going to go. You're going to start off with a hand of 10 cards, and you're going to be rolling your dice. And you're going to set your dice up on top based on whatever the number is. So on your turn, you're going to be able to play cards in any one of these different slots, dice or no dice. But if there's a dice there, you can actually take the action of the card. And I think if there's no dice, some cards you might still be able to take an action. But at the end of the turn, they're all going to slide down. Okay, so if you play a card here, you're not going to see that card again until 6 more turns when it comes off the board. So you're not going to see it as much. All right. But it's a really interesting idea, and I like that. Now, there are cards that can actually take those cards and kind of help get rid of them so you can get them back a little bit faster. Looks like we're going to have some space for some tokens and whatnot down here. I do like that. Now, let's see. What do we got for some components? These are going to be, whoops, I dropped one in there. Okay, these are going to be the trackers that you're going to put as you're doing the rally tracks. So once you complete one of the rally tracks, you're going to be able to put one of these little tokens on it. And these tokens are potentially when the track slides off the bottom, or the card for whatever that corner was, whatever slides off the bottom, you're going to be able to get your prestige points, maybe? That might be what they're called. All right. These, what do we got here? Okay, here's your cars. I do like the cars, okay? You got your little cars that you're going to have. So that'll just go on your dashboard, and that's going to determine what your speed is going to be. You're going to bounce that around, whether you're accelerating, decelerating, or everything else. Okay. Then you're going to have, looks like that's going to be your damage marker. You have this fire right here, this or flame or whatever they call it. Looks kind of interesting. That is for that prestige track or stunt track or whatever they call it. And then the flag, if I remember right, that is going to be your victory point marker that's going to travel around the board. Okay. This is definitely one that once I get this one set up, I would love to do a playthrough on this one. I'll have to do try to do a solo play and see about getting that recorded. All right. And then everybody is going to have their own set of 3 dice. 1, 2, 3, and everybody's got their own dice. Yeah, so they look really good. Okay, they got a good feel to them. There's a little weight to them. Very nice. Put these back in. I wonder if each one of these slots is going to be for the individual player components in here. So you, yeah, if that's the case, I'll have to put them in little bags or something like that to make it easier to come out. But it looks like we're going to have definitely slots in here for all of our cards and whatnot. All right, let's finish components first. All right, I'm not going to pull these out. I don't want to risk losing them, but these are going to be what's holding those little spinners on the dashboards. Okay, put those off to the side there. Oh, there's that little blue guy. We don't want to lose him. Now, these dice are going to be your hazard dice. And I don't think we need all of them out here. So I'll tell you what, let's just dump a bunch of them down in there because that's going to be good enough. Okay, so the red dice, I don't remember what the red dice are for right off the top of my head. Okay, but you got several of the red dice. They're going to be in the center of the table. But you have these damage dice. Now, these damage dice are going to have different things. You're going to have blanks, but otherwise they're going to do damage to your card. You're going to move a slider up on the damage track, and it's going to hurt you. But you also, the more crazy stuff you do that causes damage, well, you know what? Fans are going to like it, so you're going to go up on that track as well. So pros and cons of both. And then, of course, this dice right here, we'll dig this one out. This one is, yeah, if the fans love you, you're going to roll this. It's going to have a 1 or a 2. The other sides are blank, and that's just going to, I think when you roll it, if you get a 1 or 2, I think you get negatives on that track. Kind of helps bring you down. It's kind of like a little catch-up mechanic type thing in a way. But you're going to get some other stuff as well. So I got to remember off the top of my head exactly how that one plays out. But it was a really cool idea. I liked how it was. All right, so let's take a look at the cards. I don't see any way to open these ones easy. So let's just do it that way. Now, okay, let's see what's the back of all these cards look like. So let's see what these are. Now this card here, this may be for solo play. Okay, possibly. I don't know. So let's just kind of stick him right in there for now. And then we're going to have our player aid cards. So you get your roll dice phase. Then you're going to have your driving phase. Then you're going to have your stage valuation phase. And then your preparation phase. Okay. Put those in there. Now, these might be, these are the drivers. Okay. So it looks like every driver is going to have 5 cards. It looks like you're going to have multiples of that card. Right. And we'll go through these. I'll flip through all these cards and you can look at them. Looks like we're going to have multiples of that card, because I think there's three. Every driver is going to have 3 cards, so they're going to have 2 sets of 2, and then they're going to have one that's on their own. And this one should be unique to that particular driver, the solo one. Okay, so we're going to have Sophie. All right, and there's her second card. Oh, I think that's her one different card. All right. I can't even pronounce her name, and that's her solo card or her individual card. And then Ferenik. I'm so bad with names. All right, and he gets to discard cards. And then what do we got? Prepared. These might be, these are your starter cards. Okay, so these are the cards we're all going to have in our hands. So you're going to start off with so many prepared cards. Okay, so let's flip through all those prepared cards. Then you got your on the road. All right, and then you're going to have your tightening screws card and your engine tuning card. So everyone's going to start off with all of your driver cards, and then one of each of the other cards, except for the that prepared card. You're all going to have, I think, several of those. You're going to have a hand of 10, if I remember right. Okay, now let's see what we have. And I know you draw, I think it's 5 cards, so basically your first 2 hands are nothing but starter cards. And then the cards you draft should start coming in after that. Or not draft, but the cards that you buy for your deck building. All right, I totally failed pulling the wrap off of this deck right here. Now, these cards here, there's something funky about these ones I got to try to remember. They all have a little number and a letter down here on the bottom, as you can see. So these are all 1Bs, all right? And all of the cards that have share that number and letter are all going to be the same. So think of it Dominion style. You're going to have a bunch of different stacks of cards all over the place that you can buy. Okay, so they're going to have a cost to buy them, and then they're going to have like a end game effect, okay, for victory points. So yeah, so I'll find like the 1Bs, there's your 2B, and we only really need to look at the one card because they're identical all the way through, right? Okay, so then we're going to have our 2B, or not 2B. There we go, and there's our 3. I'm just basically looking at the pictures right now. Your 4, your 5B, got our 6B. And this is what I was wondering. I didn't know how many different types of cards were going to be in here. 7B. We got our 8B. So 8, and it looks like maybe 9. Okay, and our 9B card. Okay, and I think if I remember right, you're choosing a B card and an A card. And as long as you don't have 2 Bs or 2 As, then you're good. All right, so let's go to this deck. So this will finish off. This is probably going to be all of the A cards. All right. Get this guy opened up. But yeah, I'm really excited to see how this one plays. I've watched some stuff on it. So this is one, as always, I normally don't know too much about the games I unbox, but this one I do because it's a car racing game. Okay, so we got the anti-lag valve. So we got our A cards, and we'll do the same. And I'm pretty sure there's 9 sets of these. Your dampener. All right, there's 3. 4. And the big thing you're looking at here is you're going to get this with your, I know when you play the dice, you get this one. I don't remember if you automatically get this one, whether there's a dice there or not. I don't remember, but it might be that it would, and I know you can do these in either order, so you probably have to have the dice pulled off in order to do either one of them. So, but I think what it might have been is the yellow cards. If it was a yellow, if this was all colored in yellow, man, I can't remember. Somebody let me know in the comments if you know down below if you can play these cards without having a dice on them. So that way, as they slide down the line, if there's no dice, you get the ability again. I got to read the rules and figure that one out. There's your hairpin turn. So this is where it looks like those red dice are going to come into play. Oh, that's right. The red dice are the bonus dice you could sometimes get. So yeah, so like this one right here, are you always going to be able to get this ability, whether there's a dice there or not? But I think there's some tokens you got to cover these up with too. Okay. And is that the last? See, did I show you that one, racing line? I get talking about so much other stuff, I forget what I'm doing. Now that was the one thing that I don't remember was, oh yeah, that's what it was. I was going to show you these. So you have all these damage tokens, right? Get that board out of there. You have all these damage tokens, but you're going to have these racing tokens. Okay, so as you do those yellow ones and whatnot, and you use those abilities that turn, you're just going to cover them up with those. Okay, that's what those were. All right, whew. Man, I don't know how you guys keep up with me because I can't keep up with myself. Now, these cards here, I believe, are the actual rallies themselves. And there's several different rallies, and every rally consists of 10 cards, except for the starter rally, training rally, it's going to be, I believe, 5 cards. Okay. And they all have a little icon down here that's going to share what it is. But every one of the cards on that rally are going to be just a little bit different too. So we're going to go through all of the rallies, and we're going to see what all of them look like, starting with this one right here, which looks like maybe an Oceanside type one. All right. And I know it's going to tell you, you have to spend so many tires for this. The chicanes, whatever, how many chicanes here, that's going to move your car on your dashboard to the sides, left and right. And then this is the bonus that you're going to be able to get with those. Okay. Like this one would move you way over to the right. All right. And if you're down on the lower side, you're going to be able to get 2 wrenches with it. And this is just going to give you 2 wrenches. So, roll that damage dice. Look at that corner. Man, that is a nasty corner. All right. But I love this artwork. I don't know about you folks, but I love the artwork on this. That looks really cool. All right, 9. And there's going to be your finish line right there. All right, now let's go into whatever this mountainous one. Okay, there's your start. Whoa. Yeah, there's a lot. Holy crud. That's a 4 drift. The nice thing is way ahead of time when these are coming up, so you can start preparing for those. So you can start getting your car, decelerating or, get it over to this right side of the board. So that way, when you do these big shifts, it's not so bad. Hey, you know what? We went to the next one. I wasn't even paying attention to it. Okay. There's 2. There's our 3, 4. Let's go 5. Discard all your face down cards. Okay, and number 9. All right, now what do we got here? Another mountain looking one. Okay, cost 5 plus number of all your tokens on all stage cards. All right. Don't even know what that means. Oh, wait a minute. That was 10. That was the end card. Duh. Okay, there's the start. Whew. It is too early in the morning for me, folks. Okay. There's a lot going on the bottoms of some of these cards, I tell you what. But I'm excited to play these. All right. And, nighttime run. Very cool. Woo. See, I can see this one being even more dangerous. A little more danger dice type things and stuff like that just because of the darkness. So, all right. And there is our finish line. Okay. And these, I believe, are going to be our training ones right here. Okay. And there's like 5 of these. So these are basically just going to get you going on the game. And that is it. Okay. All right. I believe that is everything that comes in this game. Let's get all these cards put in here. Let's get all this stuff put back in. Okay. This is a nice little insert that they have. I do like this. I'm kind of curious to see actually how everything's going to fit in. We're going to be able to put our cards here. Looks like if you want to sleeve your cards, I think there's going to be definitely room to sleeve your cards. Because I can, you can put them here this way, but you can also put them down there. I don't know. I'll have to play around with how this insert's going to play out. Okay, but first of all, let's just see how it all goes back in there. Let's get this guy in here. So all of these boards are going to come down here, which is nice. Okay, we're going to have this board, which goes here. And the cool thing is, you see how it's got this nice little slot right there? All right, so it's just going to fit in there in that little slot. Okay, right on top of those. Now, we're not going to have all of these punch boards, but these punch boards are going to fit in here with all these. So our cards are going to fit there. I'm going to be curious to see how everything's going to fit in there once we don't have the full-size board. I'm just going to put those tokens there for now. And we'll put this here. Okay, and then we're going to have our rule book, which is actually going to go here, and it's just kind of, see, I want this up to the top. I'm probably going to put a foam core in there because I want that full, and I want this level to the top. So I'm going to do some adjustment on that, but otherwise it's not too bad. Everything is going to go in just like that. All right, folks, there you go. Wow. Okay, that was a little longer than I thought it was going to be, but that is Dirt and Dust. I'll tell you what, to me, this game looks fantastic. It's just a card playing race car game, and there's not a lot of race car games out there where you don't actually have to move a car around the board. I think this helps get other people into racing games that don't necessarily like that, pushing a car around a track and all that other stuff. But it looks fantastic to me, and the artwork is amazing. All right, let's head back up top. Let's close this out. Well, there you go, folks. That is Dirt and Dust by Albi Games. And I'll tell you what, I think this game looks amazing. I love the artwork on it. I love the concept of the game. The fact that it's a deck building game, but a racing game. and you're going to have these dice. You're going to roll them. You're going to put them on your board, but then you're going to have to place your cards in the different locations, and you got to be careful how you place them because you know they're going to slide down, and you're only going to use them, a couple different times until they can come off the board and maybe get shuffled in. So a card you put in that 6th slot, you may not use that card but one more time for the rest of the game, okay? Because it's only like a 10-turn game. So it's really interesting to see how all this is going to play out. I'm excited to see how it is. It's a racing game, and I just really like racing games, and I like the theme, and this one here just looks really, really good, and I'm excited to get this one to the table. Well, thank you once again for joining me today. As always, I please ask you to like these videos on YouTube, on Board Game Geek, on Facebook, and even on X. Please leave me a comment on any one of those platforms, and I'll get to those comments just as soon as I can. And also, if you like the videos that I provide here, if you have not subscribed to my channel, I humbly ask you to click on the subscription button and even click on that bell and be notified when I drop new videos. Also, if you like the videos I do here, I also post videos over on the Discriminating Gamer site. I'll do like unboxings, we'll do some playthroughs, I'll do some reviews over there as well. I'll leave a link to Cody's channel in the details below. I heard recently that Grumpy the Dwarf was pickpocketed. I didn't know anybody could stoop so low.